They survived the crash, but waking up was only the beginning. The Drew family opens their eyes in a dark basement, trapped, terrified, and something is waiting. Caged, hungry, watching. They'll have to fight to escape. But who, or what, drawn them into this nightmare? The film opens with a shocking, stomach-turning scene. The entire room is littered with human body parts, like a butcher's shop for people. Moments later, an elderly man enters, his demeanor suggesting he's responsible for the gruesome events that took place here. In another part of the house, deep underground, we see a young man who has no idea how he ended up there.
Help me.
Out of nowhere, a hideous creature with a grotesque, twisted face lunges at him, devouring him whole. The old man from earlier arrives and, surprisingly, gently strokes the monster's head, instantly calming its rage. Cut to a warm, cheerful scene. A family, Father Drew, his wife Angela, and their children, Lucas and Josie, are excited about a long-awaited visit to see Angela's mother and her brother Wes, who live far away from the chaos of city life. During the car ride, as usual, Lucas and Josie bicker in the back seat. Lucas is visibly annoyed about leaving the city, especially since it means missing the nightly parties he enjoys with his friends. Meanwhile, Angela chats with her brother Wesley on the phone, telling him they'll be there in 3 hours. At Angela's mother's house, preparations for the long-awaited family reunion are in full swing. She bustles around the kitchen, happily cooking for her guests. At one point, she tells Noah, Wesley's son, to take out the trash from the living room. But Noah, glued to his phone and lost in his screen addiction, doesn't hear a word. Frustrated, Wesley raises his voice, snapping his son out of his trance. Elsewhere, deep in the forest, we see the old man from the film's opening again. He's driving along a quiet back road, carefully stringing a wire trap across the path. His intentions aren't clear yet, but they will be. Back to the traveling family. Their trip has dragged on longer than expected, and Drew complains about a glitch in the GPS. Eventually, they come across an unexpected road closure on a route that's usually open. Drew suggests taking a detour down a dirt road, but Angela objects. After a heated argument, they agree to turn back. Unfortunately, this brings them right to the road where the old man had set up his wire. The result is catastrophic. The wire snaps taut, causing a brutal crash. The car spins out, metal crunches, and everything fades to black. Hours later, Angela regains consciousness in a pitch-black room, her ankles bound with heavy chains. She struggles to free herself, but the restraints are too strong. Then she spots Drew nearby and freezes. He's badly injured. Moments later, Lucas wakes up in a daze. Seeing his mother, he shouts, demanding to know where they are and how they got here. Angela quickly hushes him, urging him to stay calm. Soon after, Josie comes to, panic in her wide eyes. But Angela tries to soothe her daughter. Someone will come help. Hours pass. Lucas tries to break the chain by force, pulling with all his strength, but it's far tougher than he imagined. Meanwhile, Josie suddenly remembers a small key she has with her. She quickly tries to unlock the shackle, but it doesn't fit. Before they can think of another plan, footsteps echo outside the door. Angela whispers urgently to her children, "Pretend you're unconscious."
Act unconscious.
The door creaks open and the old man steps inside, dragging a badly injured woman across the floor. Without a word, he glances briefly at the terrified family, then turns to leave. But as he does, he hears Drew mumbling Angela's name in a feverish daze. The old man pauses for a tense moment, then walks out, slamming the door behind him. Minutes later, Angela decides to help the injured woman, but before she can reach her, a chilling sound fills the air. From the darkness beyond the room, a monstrous creature emerges. Its breathing is heavy, its eyes fixed on its prey. Then, without hesitation, it tears into the woman, devouring her with horrifying brutality. Lucas can't take it. He turns away and vomits. By morning, in another part of town, Wesley's mother is growing increasingly worried about Angela's absence. She tells Wesley she feels something is wrong. Wesley tries to reassure her, saying it's probably just car trouble, but she insists he call Angela. There's no answer. She urges him to call Drew, but when Wesley tries, the tension between the two men becomes clear. She suggests he call Lucas, but his phone is also off. That's when Wesley makes a decision. He's going to start searching for them himself. Back in the dark room, Drew suddenly regains consciousness. The family is overjoyed to see him awake. Confused, he immediately asks,
Where are we?
"And what happened?" Angela replies, "I don't know, but I'm sure we're in danger. There's a creature here, She warns him not to do anything reckless, but Drew still tries to break free from his chains. Angela tells him it's useless. They're too strong. Hours later, Angela asks Lucas to look around for some water. While searching, Lucas stumbles upon something horrifying, a severed human hand. He freezes in shock. Then, lets out a scream. The noise echoes through the air, and the creature hears it. In a flash of panic and anger, Lucas throws the hand toward the monster, as if trying to drive it away. The door bursts open. The old man enters. Drew, seething with rage, shouts insults at him. But the man ignores him completely, his gaze fixed on Josie. For the first time, he speaks to Drew. In a cold, matter-of-fact tone, he says, "One of you will feed the creature in the morning. That's his breakfast." Then, he turns to leave. Angela calls out, asking for water and a first aid kit to treat Drew's injuries before they become infected. The old man stops for a moment, then replies, cruelly, "The only pain relief you'll get is when Drew becomes the creature's breakfast tomorrow morning."
If you don't want him to suffer.
And with that, he walks away. Meanwhile, Wesley is still searching. Peter and his mom calls to check in, hoping for good news. But Wesley tells her what she dreaded. There's still no sign of Angela or her family. As he drives, Wesley reaches a section of road that's been blocked off. He gets out of the car and starts looking around. That's when he notices a wall of missing person posters. Dozens of them, all from recent months. A chill runs down his spine. At first, he wonders if it's some kind of sick prank. He calls his son Noah and tells him to notify the police immediately. Wesley continues his search when he spots a parked car along the road. Inside sits an elderly man. Wesley approaches and asks if he's seen a family of 4 traveling in the area. The man calmly replies that he hasn't seen anyone. Wesley then asks why the road is closed. The old man explains, "Tomorrow there's a dirt bike race here. That's why." His answer seems casual enough, but something about his calm demeanor is unsettling. As Wesley gazed at the man's vehicle, his eyes suddenly landed on something within that sparked his suspicion. However, before he could express his concerns, the vehicle sped away, leaving him with more unanswered questions. Later, the old man arrives at his secluded house where he lives with his wife. She greets him and casually asks how his day was, also reminding him that her sister will be visiting tomorrow around lunchtime. Back in the basement, Drew and his family are losing hope of escape. But then, Drew gets an idea. Maybe the body of the dead woman could have something useful on her. He searches her corpse and finds a belt strapped around her waist. Just as he's about to remove it, the creature emerges from its pit. Luckily for Drew, the chain around his neck keeps the monster just out of reach, but it sinks its teeth into the woman's corpse, devouring her in the most grotesque way. That night, Angela tells the children to try to sleep, though none of them can truly rest. Meanwhile, at Wesley's home, a police officer arrives. Wesley explains the situation, but the officer tells him that legally, no search can begin until the family has been missing for at least 24 hours. Wesley and his mother are furious. Wesley mentions the dirt bike race the old man told him about earlier, something the officer says doesn't exist. After a tense argument, the officer finally agrees to begin a search. Back in the basement, Drew clings to hope, telling Angela he's certain someone will come to get them out. By morning, Lucas and Josie slowly wake from fitful sleep, fear etched across their faces. They know it's time. The creature's breakfast hour is near, and so far, no one has been chosen to be fed to the monster. Suddenly, the old man appears in the room. Angela pleads desperately with him to let them go and spare them from harm, but he gives no answer. Without a word, he pulls off the mask, revealing his face for the first time. It's the same man, and he shares with Angela that her brother has been searching for her. Angela's eyes narrow with suspicion as she accuses him of harming her brother, her voice rising to a shrill yell, fear and anger. "Time runs out," the old man demands. "I choose who the creature will eat," and points directly at Josie. Drew immediately steps forward. "I'm ready. Leave my daughter alone." Reluctantly, the old man frees Drew from his chains. Drew falls into a light sleep, but suddenly the creature emerges from its pit, drawn by the scent of its meal. Drew tries to defend himself, but the creature attacks fiercely. Lucas and Angela rush to help, fighting desperately to keep the monster from killing him. In the struggle, the creature tears off Drew's hand, causing severe blood loss. Drew collapses unconscious. Meanwhile, Wesley and Noah arrive at the old man's cabin. Wesley knocks on the door. The old man's wife answers, and Wesley explains Angela and her children are missing. She invites them inside. During the conversation, Wesley notices photos of a young boy displayed around the house. The woman tells him the boy is their son, Harry, but he disappeared long ago. She insists Wesley have some tea, urging him to drink it. Outside, Noah grew restless, sitting idly in the car, waiting for his father to emerge. He decided by stepping inside and knocking on the door. As he did so, Wesley's instincts kicked in, and he sensed something was amiss. As they prepared to leave, Wesley's gaze fell upon the house, and his suspicions were confirmed. He saw signs of disturbance, eerily reminiscent of the same scene that had unfolded the night he met her husband, and now his doubts deepen. Back in the car, Noah asks his father what he and the woman talked about. Wesley admits he didn't learn much. He asks Noah if he knows Ferris beer brewer. Noah says yes, and together they headed that place. Meanwhile, in a blood-stained room, the old man suddenly notices a photo of his missing son Harry. Overcome with emotion, he begins to cry. Flashbacks flood his mind, searching the forest for Harry, only to find his son transformed into a terrifying monster. The grief and pain on his face are raw and palpable. Back in Angela's room, Drew's condition is critical. They hear the old man approaching, and to keep him from discovering Drew has been saved from the creature, Angela quickly wipes away the blood. Surprisingly, the creature hasn't eaten anything all day. The old man suspects something is wrong, and, in a sudden rage, attacks Josie. Angela steps in to protect her daughter, and during the chaos, Drew manages to regain consciousness. And he grabbed the old man's neck, but in doing so, he inadvertently attacked Drew's injured hand again, causing further damage and excruciating pain. After a brutal, prolonged struggle, Lucas manages to wrest the old man's weapon from his hand and strikes him hard. Meanwhile, the creature, desperate to break free from its chains, focuses on Drew, who's doing everything he can to hold it off. Angela and the kids seize the moment to grab the old man by the throat, forcing him to the ground. They find a key on him and hurriedly unlock shackles. But in a heartbreaking act of sacrifice, Drew offers himself to the creature to save his family. Angela and the kids watch in horror as the creature drags him away. During the fight, Lucas takes a hard blow to the head and passes out. Angela carry him as they desperately try to escape the old man's room, who is still alive but injured and fighting back fiercely. Eventually, they manage to break free and flee the cabin. Later, the creature, now free from its chains, confronts the old man. In a chilling moment, the creature seems to recognize him as its father, but it shows no mercy and devours him completely. Angela, tending to Lucas's head wound, a wallet belonging to Josie's father, reminders of the family's broken past. Lucas struggles with his guilt over his strained relationship with his own father. Tears streaming down her face, Angela mourns the loss of her husband Drew, trapped in the monster's jaws. Outside, Wesley and Noah arrives and reunite with Angela and the children. Meanwhile, the creature stalks its next prey in the shadows, the hunt far from over. Thank you so much for watching. To help us reach 1,000 subscribers, please hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it, and there's more videos coming soon.